welcome back. So we have this design, right? And what ends up happening sometimes in your line of work, some things change, and that's exactly what happened here. So it's very minor, but my designer decided to simplify this a little bit for me, and we're removing this line and this slash, and we're going to go over to this. So we're just going to do this. And nothing else has actually nothing else changed, but also he's so generous. He's a giving designer. He gave me a mobile version, so just tell me what he accepts. He wants me to put like an image here, so this, he says it looks stupid, but put an image here, not like that, but just put something there. As you can see, going from mobile to desktop, this design gets very simplified. See, like these things, now this is up here, this turns into a block. Like we lose this image. No, we're going to try and put something here just to break this up. This obviously this turns into this, so it looks like these are going to be I think, gosh, now how am I going to do that? I might just have to make these block level elements, so this stacks on top of here, and then I set a because I want a container, because I need some of these guys, I need them to bounce up against something. So I'll probably just do a pseudo element for the background that just extends off the canvas, so that I can get this green, because this green is obviously, this is going to be, so these guys are going to live in a container, and that's how we're going to get this green all the way. We're going to put these guys side by side as maybe flex items, inline blocks, who cares? So one of those will work, but we need to break them up on mobile. So the first thing we start with is we have to look at this button, okay? And it looks like, get out of here. I hate some of these ads on your own PC. So this button has to stack, so right away we know that they have to be block level and on top of each other, but how do we do the background? Because the whole container is the background. So if we try to give the container the whole background on this, then this will be green as well, right? This whole thing that they live in will be green, but we don't want that. So my workaround is pseudo elements. That's what I use for everything. They're such neat little things. So on this, I guess it's going to be an H2. So this will be the container, and then this H2 will have a pseudo element that is yay high, and it will be, I don't know, 1,000 pixels wide, and it'll be centered on it, and the container will have overflow hidden, so that it will chop off the edges of that. And then there we go. We got that nice little section there. Even though these two are technically in the same container, it looks like this one will be in this container and this one will be separate. So I think that's what we got to do for this one as well. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Now, what I also wanted to go over with you guys is this this footer. So you'll notice, gosh, let's just do full screen. I think it's a little easier. So this full screen, when you're looking at this and you're trying to transcribe it to this mobile, you'll notice that this Facebook button is at the end of these guys and far away from this guy, but up here it's next to each other. And now we have a back to top button that's not even in here. So yeah, without structuring it with absolute positioning and just basically telling it, go this many pixels here, you go this many pixels here, you go over here, you go over here. How can we make this work without absolute positioning? And the way that I've come up with is this will be its own block level element. This list will be like this unordered list will be it's going to be a list. It's not going to be a group of divs or a group of spans. This is going to be a list so that they can be grouped together. So this will be one. Oh, this will be one. This will be two, and then this will be another block level element. And then we're going to have back to top. I'm going to put that right here. So this will be by itself, and this will be in its own little container, I guess. This will be by itself, and then next to it will be the back to top. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the order property of Flexbox. So this will be, this container will be basically, you know, they'll all be inline. So I'll just make these inline blocks, and you know, we'll position these as they are in the DOM. So this will be the first one, and then in the HTML underneath it will go this. In the HTML underneath it will go this, and in the HTML underneath this will go this. So over here, we set order to this one. You know, it's going to be flexbox, flex direction row. So we're going to go in a row, and we're going to be flex wrap so that it wraps when it overflows its container and continues on the next line. And we're going to set this order to 1, so this stays in 1. This order to 2, so it will be number 2. This order, like this UL, will be order number 3, which will put it in the 3rd spot. And then this hidden back to top button will be order number 4, which will be this spot. So that's how I'm going to do this footer section as I'm kind of planning it out. Because you know, when I look at this and I look at this, I'm like, you know, how am I supposed to translate this? Like, these guys are, they couldn't be farther apart in the desktop design, and now I got to bring them together in the mobile. So that's just, you know, little challenges like that will present themselves. And, you know, the more you know about your tools like Flexbox and the order property, the more you're able to do. And we're able to do that without any absolute positioning or any, you know, any poor coding techniques. Like, you don't want to absolutely position your entire website. Back when I first started, I was like, oh yeah, I could just absolutely position these things anywhere I want. I don't have to worry about the DOM order or wherever they are and trying to solve these problems. I'll just position them wherever I want, and that was a freaking nightmare. That was the worst website I ever made. Good thing it was when I started. So this is what we're going to do. I freaking love, gosh, this transformation. Like, just look at this and look what he did here and how he spaced everything. So what I'm going to do here is these guys are going to be their own little flex container, right? This will be in this container. So this picture will live in here, and these will be separated. So when I get to here, again, we're going to do Flexbox. We're going to make these pictures right here, like width of, I don't know, 40%. And then we're going to justify them to flex start, so to the left. So we're going to push these to the left. This will be with 100%. And then this is going to be up here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to position absolute it. And I'm going to make it, you know, right 0. And then bottom like negative, I don't know, 100 or however much this is. And just push this down. So it'll stay on the right side of this container. It'll fill this space. And then I could just make these guys, you know, make this width 100%, make this width, I don't know, 150 pixels, whatever this is. And these will be positioned as they are in the HTML. So we don't have to do any weird positioning. These are just in order. This will be, you know, out of the normal order of the HTML and the DOM because we're absolutely positioning it and forcing it somewhere. But that's fine. That's how we're going to do this. So. Yeah, I just wanted to go over that kind of planning stage just to give you guys an idea of how I like to go at a problem like a design problem, how to translate these, like how to, when you start mobile first, how do these two work together to create what you see, and that's part of the puzzle. I mean, you're not shown what the pieces are, you have to decide how the pieces fit, and that's the tricky part about web development and when web design is just trying to make something that can work for both mobile and desktop. But yeah, let's enough theory, let's get cracking. So I'm just going to leave this open. Like I'm gonna be going back and forth when I do mobile and desktop. So I got my style here. We're gonna split you down. Extra, extra, extra. And then we're gonna when we get our HTML, see it's spilling over. We're just gonna do Alt Z, and that makes it nice and in line. We don't need you, so we get some more space here. And if you're not familiar with my CSS techniques, what I like to do is I make my some of my different sections, like join and qualities, and learn more. These different sections will have their own CSS sections. So what I like to do is I wrap everything in their own media queries. So this is obviously for mobile. This is for tablet, small desktop, and regular desktop. Why do I have this min width 0? Well, I want it to collapse because when I have a whole bunch of code, it just gets messy, especially if I do all one line of mobile in my CSS, and then after that I do like hundreds of lines of tablet, after that then hundreds of lines of desktop. It becomes a little bit of a nightmare to maintain and add sections somewhere, because then you have to copy and paste something and put it in the mobile, and you gotta scroll all the way down, put it in the tablet, and scroll all the way down, put it in the desktop. But this way I have all of my media queries for each section right next to each other, and I can collapse them. So like I can have hundreds of lines of code in these, but you won't know because it's collapsed. And when I want to access one, I can just click this and access it, close it. And you'll notice on the right here, it's a lot easier to see where you are in code on your website. So you can just jump to different sections of your website very easily. This is, I started doing this recently, and I can't imagine ever not doing it anymore. So once I start actually coding with it, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then I gotta add these mobile ones to this. These don't have our mobile sizes. There we go. Just got a couple of those to get started. So we got our landing right here. I guess the first order is to get our navigation lined up. Okay, so this is over here too. So, gosh darn it. I just started. Hold on, I gotta take this call to the wife. Alright, let's try this again. My wife needed me to help put some little ones down to sleep. So we got, let's go to our nav. So we got a button up here. And on desktop, it's also right there underneath the logo. So what I think I need to do, so we got our image here. This is our mobile logo inside of our mobile nav, which is, it's this thing right here. So what I want to do, we're not going to do dark mode on this one actually. So let's just comment this out. Okay, we're not going to do dark mode. It's a campaign website, and look at the thing. I mean, doesn't really need dark mode for what's that, color contrast. And this is a campaign website that'll go up for like the next 2 or 3 months. So we'll see if I have time at the end, if I can just fart it out. But we're going to remove that button so that we have room over here. And with your homepage logos, like in your navigation, you want to put them inside a link tag. This is from my old build kit that I put together, my old starter kit, which has all the goodies, like the mobile, like the navigation. What is this? What are you doing in here? What is this? Oh, that's right. It's I had to style that as well. All right, I got my work cut out for me today. So what's our logo? SVG. I think that's our. Whoops. I think that's our thing here. All right, so there's Kent, and we got our A tag here. So we're just gonna do /index.html. So it goes to our main homepage. Let's see, so we got this. So inside of our A tag, just to make it easier to see, I'm going to indent this. And I'm going to put a button, so actually, because you don't want to do, you can't really do A tags inside of A tags. So what needs to happen is this has to be a span or a div with a link, with this as a link inside. All right, we're getting wild in here now. So I'm going to bring this back together so it's all on one line. And I'm going to copy this, and we're just going to do a spanner. I'm just going to div. So we're just going to do dot logo group. Okay, and in here is where we're going to have our link with our logo. And then underneath that is we're going to have our A tag with a button solid. Okay, that button solid is part of my, I have a class in my core styles style sheet, which is on all of my pages, so that all of my pages pull from it. And that just has my button styles. That's how I like to do things, is have all of your general styles in one, like one style sheet that you use for all of your pages. That way you're not redoing, you're basically making your own little mini framework with your own CSS. And that's what I do with my navigation and footer styles. They also go in core styles. So you change one CSS thing, you change them all. So now we're back to here with this button, and it needs to say donate. And let's just see what that looks like. Okay, so that's our button style. So let's get that button style going. So here's our button, and let's go to core styles. You see, I also have it all. So you can see here. So if I expand this, there's my regular desktop, small desktop. That has all my desktop styles. You see how long that is? So it's easier if I can just go up and down. There's mobile, there's iPad. So on mobile, since mobile, it's min width 0, this is cascading all the way down. So whatever you put in here in mobile will also load for tablet and also load for desktop. That's why I do min width and not max width. So it's the minimum width. When you do that, basically all the styles that preceded it or precedes it will also have these styles, because this is min width of 0. So as long as the browser has a minimum width of 0, which no matter what size it is will always satisfy this, then this will load. Same thing with this. When we make styles inside of small desktop, anything that this will also be loading all of the styles before it, and then we'll just be adding new styles to be loaded for all the styles after it, like in 1300. So that's how it kind of cascades when you do min width. So this is part of my old. I have a max width too. I don't want to do this. This is an old way of doing things that I used to do, and I'm eventually going to update it and remove these, but I just have such a heavy workload right now. I just have to work with it. So I'm gonna do this now. We're gonna go down to button solid. So here's that button solid class. So we gotta set our primary color for our variables. So here's my variables, root. This is how you do CSS variables. You just do a little colon root, and then in parentheses, you just make a little variable with your 2 little dashes, and then you put in what value you want this to hold. So this Kent Forest Green, you're going to be this color, so I'm just going to change that here. Okay, and when I save, it's going to save everywhere, because that's the variable, and everything that has that var primary, which is in button solid, var primary, that's how you call a variable. So whatever your variable is, just put it in these parentheses. So that's that, and what we want, so this is 43 pixels high, so we're going to make this a line height of 43. And then that means our border radius, divide that in half, which is like 21. Let's just say 22. So border radius 22 pixels to make that into a little pill. Do all of the, no, it's just that donate one that has that weird spacing. So there's that style. When I save, that's where it's going to be. And I wonder if we do a min width of, let's see, min width of 166. Let's see what that does. Because you know, when you have these as display block, right? They want to take up the entire block. So like if I just made it, if I remove this min width, it just wants to take up everything if it can. Let's see, but in this, because I don't have a width. Interesting. Wait, oh no, it's display inline block at the bottom here. Okay, there. So it's going to try and take up everything inside of its little container, and this is its little container. So it's going to try and take up everything, which is not that much. So when I set a min width, I'm going to remove this inline block. We don't want that. So min width sets it as it has to be a minimum of this much. So that's why this will grow, because it's not satisfying its minimum. I want this to be at its smallest to be 166, and that's what it's doing right now. And let's go ahead and get rid of this border. So if we go in here, it looks like it's on the mobile wrapper. There, border bottom, that's what we're looking at. We click on this, it tells us it's on line 336. So we scroll down to line 336 and we remove this. We don't need this. Okay, that's done. And no background. So what is this? Is this like a different color or something? Like, what is this line? Does this have a border top on it? Let's see if I zoom it. Maybe it's just an issue. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's just an issue with the zoom. It's just a browser error. Okay, so now, yeah, the most annoying part is always getting your navigation going. So I think I have a set height on this. So I need to move. Yeah, height of, let's see, 100%. Mobile wrapper, height of 70. So I want this to be auto because I want these guys to. I want it to be automatically the height of the elements inside of it. So mobile wrapper, 336. So again, 336. Oh, here it is. I'm just gonna do auto. There you go. So now it is automatically the height of these two guys combined. And I think so. Mobile nav, and it's this. We have justified content center. I actually want. Let's get rid of this. Those are all the Webpack stuff from Justify Center. I actually want Flex Start because I want it on the left. And on mobile, this has to be 167 wide. So, since we have a new selector, let's move this down here. Okay, so we got our logo group. That's how we're going to be targeting our stuff. Because right now it is targeted by this right here, mobile wrapper image, which I think we could still use. So was it 166? Height is going to be auto, and then width is going to be 166. There's that. And from the top, if I hold Alt and move my little cursor around, when I select this item and hold Alt, I can see the spacing. So I need 20 pixels on the bottom, or on the top. So right now, mobile logo has a margin top of 5. That's going to be 20. There you go. So that's set up that way. And this is 13 pixels away from the button. Who's got it? Logo group. Looks like they're just kind of floating around there. There's no margin on it. Like, there's no discernible margin on it. So it looks like that looks about 10. So maybe let's do margin bottom of 10. Let's see if that pushes it. looks like a little much. Let's do 7. Okay, and I want, so this is navigation, so we're going to do .logo group. We're going to create a new thing here. And I just want to target this button solid. So I just want this button solid to have this spacing. So I want to do the logo group dot button solid. So I want the button solid inside logo group. And I want, what is your letter spacing? Oh, this, come on, Kyle. So this looks like it's, I think it's a vector. Did you really just vector this? Can you just give me a text? All right, well that's weird. Because like if I click on this, this gives me all the text options, but when I click on this, interesting. All right. So Aileron, do I even have that? Did I do that yet? Aileron. I need this font. Where is it? AIL. AIL. Awesome. Let me see. Did I? No, I don't have a font in here, so I didn't download it. All right, so this is another thing. Kyle ended up using a non-standard Google font, which I now have to get from him, or choose a different font. So I'm just going to pause the video here, and I'm going to give him a call and find out what the heck I got to do. So just another real-world problem of working. Just another thing that one of the, I guess, gifts and curses of doing a video like this, where it's not perfect all the time. It's not planned. This is my work day, so I got a work day problem. Now I got to go call Kyle and see what the heck's going on with this font. So give me a second here, guys. Pausing in 3, 2. Okay, so here we go. So Aileron font is not a Google font, but it is a free open source font, I think he said. So what he said, go to Font Squirrel. Turns out I already downloaded it. Maybe I did this in my HTML video. I don't know. It's been like a week since I did that video because of life. So yeah, I already downloaded that. Got the font face kit so that it gives me everything, my woofs, my woofs. So when I downloaded that, I got a bunch of these. And what's annoying is you have to go into every individual one and pull out the WAF that you want. So what I did is I created a fonts folder inside of my, like stuff like Ken Scott. So I created a folder for fonts. And then I went through the, gosh darn it, he's calling me right now. Yeah, just a second. Okay, yeah, that was Kyle just giving me extra design notes for some small changes on the contact form. So what I did was I had my little fonts folder. I went through the Figma and I found all of the font sizes, font weights, I guess, that I needed. And then I literally, like if I wanted black, I just went into black and I just dragged it over. So this was actually in here. I just dragged it over. So I went into all the individual guys, dropped in my own little font thing. So I can ignore this. So now we got my fonts. So I can close this and just copy and paste this font face. This is how you import fonts that you have stored locally. So I don't really know how to, font family. This, you just name it. Name it whatever you want. So I called it black italic, bold italic, so that when I do my font family, like down here for body, I just put in whatever it is that I named it. So that's pretty cool. You can name it yourself. So I just did this off screen because nobody wants to see this. But I'm just showing you what I did. I'm not going to make you sit through 10 minutes of me doing this when we're here to do CSS video. So in this font swap, I don't know why we need it, but we need it. And then this is just where it is. So like, this is the source in your fonts folder, and this is what it's called. And there you go. And I tested it, and it loads. So aileron, regular, and I just got to tell it where to be bold and stuff. It's all regular. Excuse me. Yeah, it's late over here. I'm tired. So that's what I had to do. I had to do all of them like this. All right, so back to business. So I'm going to close this out. Font Squirrel, awesome stuff to download fonts. Enjoy. And so we are up here. So let's get this going. Let's make Bainbridge. Well, first let's get this donate. Now I just gotta guesstimate that. So now that donate's done, so we're gonna be on. There we go, logo group. Okay, so I want this button. Number one, I want you to text transform. I want you to go uppercase. And then letter spacing. Man, what is that? 3 pixels? What's the font size? I also got to guess the font size. It's crazy. Let's see, 13 pixels. That looks like no, that's gotta be smaller. Let's try 11. Looks like it's gotta find a way to bold. And then more spacing. Even more. God, that's crazy. Do I need to do text align center? I don't like this. Why are you like that? So I guess I gotta punch the padding. So I'm doing padding because I want to push on the inside. I want to push the contents over. Margin pushes on the outside and pushes things away. Padding pushes on the inside. So padding left, let's just do like 5. Does this change how big it is? 166, no. But it does move it over. Let's shove it over another 7. That looks a little better. Now if I go back and forth, donate. You know, that's as good as it's going to get. I don't even care anymore. Why do you do that to me? Just give me the font. Okay, so that button's good. And let's do this. Let's help make a better. So now this is good. This will appear on all pages because it's on our core styles. And now we got here for landing. So let's go down to my landing, and we're going to do hero. And I want the H1. So we're going to do, it's going to be font size 32. And we're going to be bold, 900. And I think that's where I got to do, I think I got to do the font family. Copy this, and we'll do black. See, there it is. There it is, black. Then when you name them, nice and easy. And let's see, our line height, just 100%. Cool. That gives me nothing to go off of. This looks fine, but however, I don't like how we got this middle thing. So I think we gotta, because we're on 320 pixels. So you know, this is as small as the screen to get, and we want to count these in. People still use this, so let's just drop down the font size, 28 pixels in there. Now we got our nice our line there. So when I get to, I'm going to do a media query for like 375, which is like larger screens, and then we're going to bump that back up. But we got to set this guy, so it's going to be bold italic. So hero h2. So we got to use this guy. So it's going to be bold italic, and then 20 is the font size. So there's that, but we got to set the width to be 158 so that it fills this little pocket. So when we set that on this one, we don't have a whole lot of space for this image to float on. So we have to, again, because it's a smaller screen, I think this one is for 375. Yeah, that's the, what do you think? That's iPhone 6. So we're on iPhone 5 SE, which is 320. So we got a whole other 55 pixels to go. So we're gonna shorten this to 38 and make this like, I don't know, 17. There we go. Fits a little better. It's just a small screen. We have to fit these guys. This is what we got to do. This donate button, where are you coming from? Okay, I think it's a remnant of my first HTML video. Right here. Yeah, we're gone. So we didn't need that anymore. Now this image I'm going to place now so that I can get down to these guys. So this one, let's just do a class of landing image just to be able to target it. And now I want hero landing image. That's not spelled right. So I want to absolutely position it, so that means my container that it lives in needs to be position relative. I don't know why, but that's just how things go. When you absolutely position something, the container that you are positioning it in needs to have position relative on it. You cannot position absolute something on a container that does not have this on it. It will just escape the container and position itself based on the next position and relative parent, which usually is the body after that. So when we do position absolute, I want it to be right of 0. Our width, let's set this width. So it's 157. Let's just do 130 and see what that looks like. And then a bottom, maybe 100. Let's just see what that looks like. Because I want it to go, if this is our landing, if this is our hero section, this is the bottom, I want it to go 100 pixels from the bottom. So let's save and see what this does. This does absolutely nothing. Oh, because it's an image. Image tags by default are inline. And inline elements, you cannot use transforms, margins, heights, widths. They don't care. They're the honey badgers of displays. They don't care. They do whatever the hell they want, which is nothing. They just sit there. So we have to have display block. If you want to do anything with like inline elements like A tags or spans or images, you have to set display block or inline block. That way they can accept a height value and a width value, and they can take margins and transforms. They can do those things. Without that, you're not going to get anywhere. And this is still not doing what I want. Landing image. I saved this. Landing image. It's in the hero. So where am I losing it? Oh, I'm using the wrong one. What is this? Oh, this is the other one. So I thought I was targeting this. I was actually targeting this, the background image. Okay, so let's just do background. This is actually a Kent image, so that's what happens when you take like a week break between your HTML and CSS. You forget what the heck you did. So don't do that. You'll regret it. Because I mean, one of the drawbacks of me is working from home and doing everything else is I often have to take breaks between, even in the middle of my coding, as you found from all my videos. And that does make things more difficult because then I forget what I did and I have to relearn it and go through my thinking process again. Got that, save that, and it is still not giving me what I want. So Kent image. Do I gotta refresh? What's happening here? Oh, Kent landing. Not image, landing, Ryan. See, there it is. Now it's doing what I want. And we can actually get rid of background image because we're not using it right now. Okay, there he is. There's Kent. And that bottom is too much. Let's do like 70. Let's check the proof. So it looks like the top of this lines up with the top of this. So we still need a little more. Let's try 60, 50, 55. There we go. That's about top right there. And okay, looks like we got a little bit of a gap too. So where's our container at? This is our container. I want to take its padding off because it doesn't look like I need the padding. It's already got a padding on the left and right. We don't need a padding here. I want these things to go farther over. Like I want to get rid of this. So let's get rid of this padding. Hero.container padding 0. There we go. Now they push over, and I want this image to also, as you'll notice, that it also has it's obeying the same container, and this goes to show what I was talking about with position absolute and having its parent, like the most immediate parent, being position relative. Because see why this is not obeying its container, because the hero right here, this is the nearest most parent element that it's living with inside, that has position relative on it. Container is actually the roof it lives under. This is the parent it lives with, right? But it doesn't have position relative on it. So it's like, you're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. So it goes to hero, which has position relative on it. And he's like, oh yeah, dad. All right. I'll obey your rules in your roof. So right now his roof, like his house, is on the edge, but container's house is like a couple, maybe 10 or 15 pixels off the edge. So what we need to do is we need to put position relative on the container. And when we do that, it will position itself to the right 0 of the container, which is right here, instead of the hero, which is right here. So let's save. Oops. And put it there, position relative, and there it is. So now it obeys its container. It recognizes the authority of the container parent now. All right. And now, instead of being positioned at the bottom of the hero's boundaries, it's positioned at the bottom of the container's boundaries. Hero is down here, and then container's up here. So we have to actually drop this down some more because it's living in a new house, technically. So let's go back to our Kent landing. Let's do -85. Let's do 130. There we go. Right about there. That's kind of where it's at. Okay. So that was actually a pretty good mistake to transition into that whole position absolute and relative lecture and how that works. So hopefully that makes some sense. And I think I can actually make this wider. Let's do 40. Yeah, we need some more space. We need some more of that beautiful Kent smile. All right, and now that we're going to drop this down some more. 65. 65 is good. Okay, and now looks like my images aren't they're not coming in. Oh, that's right, they're backgrounds. Is that what I did? Yeah, because I need them to be wildly different widths and lengths. So, okay, I just got to set these then. So this is going to be in join. So let's close this. And this is going to be join. So join, and I want the images. So this class, I want the image inside of it. I want them to all to be a display block. Okay, so they're all in one line, which they're going to be a display block by nature anyway. I just want to declare it just because I feel better. And I want, let's see, I want their heights to be 80. And that's about all I want them to share, because now I have to target them individually. So this is just properties I want them all to share. I'm obviously gonna have to change this one's height, but these two obviously they can. I'm just trying not to repeat myself. So image. So I want the nth of type. So I want the first one. Okay, I want your background to be on my cheat sheet. These are the 4 properties you're always going to use when you do a background image. You want to set the URL. You want to set how big it's going to be. You want it to cover the entire div. You want to set its position to be in the center of the div, and you don't want it to repeat. So that's why I just have these copied and pasted into my own little cheat sheet, just so I don't have to keep doing it. And let's look at my images folder. So it is going to be, it's off screen, you're not going to see it. It's going to be call out 1. Call out 1. And let's just see if this takes. So there's call out 1 and 2 and 3. So this is going to be the second, oops. This is going to be the second image. Oh, and you know what? I think I remember somebody was saying that this stuff is too small. So I'm going to zoom in. There we go. I remember a comment saying on my last video that the text was too small, so I forgot to zoom in. Here we go. I listen. I read these comments. So the second one, I want them to be call out 2, and the third, I want to be call out 3. That's just how I named these. So there they are. And joined Ken Scott. Let's see, where does that go? Oh, that's right. That's part of the stuff that we're not using anymore. So we're actually going to delete this because we're not using that join anymore. That was this thing, right? But that's not part of the design anymore. So we're going to go. There we go. This is what's part of the design. So we're going to focus here, and that'll make. There we go. Now that makes some more sense. So, but I want this padding to go down because I want to bring these images up. I want them to be up here, but this padding on the top of my join section is preventing that. So padding top 0, and that'll push that over. Now padding. See, the green is the padding, so there's no more padding top pushing it, and. So between here and here is 35. So on this already has a margin bottom of 30. So on my hero, I want padding bottom to be 0. Okay, so now this is 30. So on my H2, margin bottom 35. So what I did here is I removed the padding from both this hero section and this join section so that they're meeting right at the middle. And the only thing that's creating the space is right here. this H2. So this is 35. Yeah, 35 pixels from the top, and then we have 20 pixels between the top of Joyan and this guy. So Joyan, actually, we're going to redo that one. That's actually going to have a padding top of 20. So that's going to create the break. And now our background, just to get this going, var parentheses dash dash primary. Now our background is set, and you can see how it's coming together now. Let's see, what's going on here? Oh, that's our padding bottom causing that, and our padding bottom needs to be 20 also. See this? It's not even, so padding bottom is going to be 20 pixels. And there we go, we got that now. Let's get the images. So between them is 10 and 10. So I want my images, margin bottom, 10 pixels. But you notice that also gives this one a margin bottom of 10, which creates more space on the bottom, which we don't want because it has to stay 20. So one thing we could do is make the padding bottom 10 pixels less. So the padding bottom will be 10 because it's getting another 10 pixels from this margin bottom, and then we got 10 pixels for this padding bottom, making it 20. That's one way of doing it. The other way, if we undo that, is to take image, and I like to do last child, because I could do it on the third one, but what if it changes? What if we add more? So I want to do my image last child. I like last of type, and set that margin bottom to 0, so that no matter how many images you shove in here, the last one will always be the one without that margin bottom, and that's how I like to do it. I like to target the last one. Now we need to make these thinner. So where does it stop? Looks like it gives us 10 pixels between that. So let's do these. So width like 40%. Let's try that. Not enough. Tap. So what I like to do to try and test widths and heights is I click on the element, and then I go and I'm going to zoom this out too. And I look for the width right here, right? And I get that cursor in there blinking, and then I just use my arrow up to increase it. That looks good. Okay, 49%. So we're going to set that. So that means I need to set this as a width. This is 145. Because the problem is when this screen grows, these guys are going to grow, but this isn't going to grow. So when I jump to a bigger size, see there's that space. So if I set the Kent Landing width to, let's try 49%. Is that 145? Well, if I go, it's 147. So let's try 48, 144. Because I want it to be 145. So let's try 0.5 and 145.5. Let's do 0.3. 144. Nope. Let's try 3.5. 145. Okay, that's pretty darn close. 145 is what it used to be. So this is 49%. This is 48.35%. Let's see if this, I'm going to zoom this out some more. Zoom in. Let's just see if this proportion is maintained when we go up. And yeah, pretty much. Because when we go to the bigger screen, 375, you'll notice that they're pretty much staying. And when we go to a bigger screen, the plus, they also maintain their proportion. So yeah, percentages, here we go. I like that. I like that a lot. So right now, let's just focus on small screen. Okay, and so here's another visual problem we have. I have a different image. What the heck? All right, great. All right, I just got to download this sucker. And changing things on me. All right, now this is off screen now. I got to change it. I'm going to save it. Save as. Carver Web. Where's my Kent folder? There it is. Images. And okay, oh, it looks like I have it saved. It's the About Kent image. Okay. So let's just change that in here. It's not going to be Kent Landing anymore. It's About Kent. There we go. And what I need to do is I need it to also be proportional and make this little grid complete. So I think what I need to do, for the sake of responsiveness, so I gotta set bottom. So this bottom negative 165. So if I do negative 30%, let's do 80. Let's do 120. Okay, let's bump this up a little bit. Looks like 116 is the right one. Okay, so that way we have the grid maintained. So let's see what happens when we get bigger. The grid is maintained, and I just hit my bookmark and go to bigger one. The grid is not maintained when we get bigger. Yeah, unless no, it does maintain. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so it stays, right? And it stays. Cool. But I think we got some problems here. So they when I get to 375, which is this, to maintain this aspect, because like if when it gets bigger to like 400, whatever that is, these guys get bigger. This gets bigger, which means it goes taller. And when it grows taller, it's going to cover this. So I need, when I get to 375, I need to set the container width to be 355. That's what I need, 355, and then this will be 355. So I'm going to set that width, max width, to 355, so that when I get to my bigger screens, this will maintain its proper proportions. So that's what I got to do to make sure that this stays, mobile responsive, but also maintains the integrity of the design. So let's go back to our little guy here, and let's make this guy stretch. So man, this is supposed to be a simple site, but you know what? Sometimes they're never really as simple as you hope they are. So we're gonna do width 100%, and that's gonna go over there, and that's how we create that section. Just a neat little. This is an actual puzzle, right? You got our pieces all fitting neatly here. It all worked exactly as I wanted it to. So, but I didn't even have to use flex. I just used block level elements and just placed them. So this looks good to me. I like this. This feels good. I'm happy this worked the first time. And now we're going to move on to these guys. So this is, let's see, how is this supposed to look on desktop? Looks like this stacks on top. And that's it for that. But it's over here on the right. Okay, so that poses a challenge. So this has to be on top and here in these little cards, but over here in these cards, they have to be to the right. So this tells me that I need to put this icon, this image, inside of my H2 tag so that they can be next to each other. So I'll make these guys inline blocks that they sit next to each other, and maybe I'll make them flex and just do space between, which forces this all the way to the right and this forces all the way to the left. And then on desktop, I just I make them display block. I don't even have to do flex. I can just undo the flex, do display block. This will jump on top, take up its space here, and I'll push it to the left. So I think that's what I got to do. How did I do it here? Okay, that's right. See, this is the problem. So Kyle made me this mobile design, which ended up being different from my idea of what it was supposed to be. So now I got to change this. So I take this out and put it inside. Okay. And I want to aria hidden equals true. Because this is just an icon. It has no inherent meaning or contextual value to what Y stewardship is. So we're just going to hide it so that when the screen reader does go over this, it's not going to also read this. So we want it to ignore this completely. So that's fine. So we're going to keep that there, and I'm just going to save. So you see there it is on the side. It's already on the side, and I need to make it. You're going to be width of 52. So I'm going to close this and onto my next section. Join landing. Okay, so I just got to do a couple more of these. Just because it's nice having the template. 1, 2, and 3. That should be enough for now. So we got landing, 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 join. Okay, so here's the next one, which is qualities. All right, and let's just close this, close this, close this. So here we are, qualities. And I want to target the item H2. And I want it to be, I want to target the item image and be a width of 52 pixels. All right, so that brings them down. And now I want to set, okay, so this is black. So, or I'm going to go on top because this is more specific. Basically, it's just, you want to try and go in order of the DOM. So like if I wanted to target item, I would put item, I would just do qualities item right there on top. But if I wanted to target the LI, this would actually go underneath the H2 because it's underneath the H2 here. So I would just do qualities item LI down here. So I'm just explaining the meaning for people that maybe they don't know that way of doing CSS. So just that little quickie. So H2, I want you to be font family. Let me grab that from here and paste. So you're going to be our Lyrion black. And font size of 20 pixels. Is that really it? That's 20. Doesn't feel like 20. Oh, 26. There, I knew something was off. 26. Okay, that's better. But you notice they don't fit anymore. Oh, I got 10 pixels padding all my sections. So that means on my container, I'm just going to take it off my container. See, all of my sections, I have these pre-built padding on it. So like every section has 50 pixels top and bottom, because that's just good spacing on mobile. So I'm just going to go to my container. I'm just going to remove this. It's just going to be 0. There we go. So basically I had two containers with 2 paddings, and that was really pushing things over. So I'm just going to remove that. Now they fit, but this is not completely on the right side. So, I mean, you can do flex, but it seems like a little extra line of code for just doing a float, right? And if I want to make this display inline block, let's see if this works. Vertical line bottom. No, that didn't work. I guess float's not going to work because it has to be like the bottom of this has to line up with the bottom of this. and float's just not cutting it. So maybe I got to do, maybe I do got to flex it. All right, display flex. So that didn't work. I want flex direction row, which is default. I want justified content, space between, because I want them to push against each other. And I want align items. I want a line on the bottom. Gosh darn it. Flex wrap, no wrap. What did I do? Flex direction row. Looks like I don't need that. Looks like flex dock isn't going to work either. Let's try dropping the. Let's drop this. That doesn't work. Space between, no wrap. Center. That's the darndest thing. What happens if I wrap this in a span? That doesn't do it. So let's undo that. So I got this problem where this I can't position this. Okay, so let's get rid of this. This can still be 26. So I guess what I have to do, let's do margin left auto, margin right 0. That doesn't work. Oh, display block, inline block. It's an image. That's not working. I wonder if that's why flex wasn't working. Let me try. Let's go back to our flex. There we go. There's our flex. Bottom. Oh, never mind. Oh, I see why I'm stupid. Because I was putting the flex on the image and not the thing the image is in. Wonderful. Okay. So these guys. So why are you looking like this? Now I got Flexbox to work. But now this ain't working. Gosh, I hate these. This is annoying. So what I'm going to do now, I've exhausted all options. I'm going to position absolute. So that means this is going to be position relative. This is going to be position absolute. It's going to be a right of 0 and a bottom of 0. And there it is. Nice and perfect. I didn't want to have to do it, but that I guess that's what we got to do. And looks like I need to bump this up some more. Let's do like 5 pixels. Yeah, there. Yeah, that looks a little better. So now that we got that working, I'm going to do that for all of these. I'm going to move this image. Copy. I'm going to move that into here. And aria hidden equals true. Okay, and bump this guy in here. Okay, so now we got all of them like that, except this is too much. This is a little too much. So I think for these smaller screens, what I got to do is I got to bump down the font, and I got to bump down the width of both of them, just so I can have a decent spacing here. So those are the liberties you can take as a developer when you're working with these smaller screens. And so from here to here, this is 51, so I guess that's fine. Oh, now we need a line. Nice, we need a line. Okay. I'm going to do that with my trusty handy dandy pseudo element. So here's my pseudo code that I copy every time for an overlay. And I'm just going to do qualities.item h2 before, and I'm just going to paste these. This is just so I don't have to keep writing it over and over again. Every pseudo element needs a content. Make it empty, quotes. You can put text in there, and text will pop up as a pseudo, but we're not doing that. And this little guy, what are you? Black 80. It's just black, straight up black. Okay, so you're just going to be 0, 0, 0, and looks like you're going to be 1 pixel tall and 100% width. And I'm going to set your bottom instead of your top. I want you to bottom of alt. Let's see, -10. Let's just do -12. And there's our line. Nice and easy. So pseudo elements, they're attached to their element. You got before and after. So, before and after. And they position themselves relative to the things they're attached to. So this is bottom -12 from the bottom of this blue content box. Love pseudo elements. I use them for almost everything. Now we got, so this has a margin bottom of 38. Margin bottom of 38. So that should push this down to where it needs to be. And these guys are regular, cool, but they're font size 17. So we're going to do qualities.item. Yeah, we're going to keep that item. And we're just going to do li, font size 17 pixels. Cool. And I wonder what this line, it just says 100%. Or, yeah, 100%, which I don't know what that is in pixels. It bothers, I don't like it when this happens. Just give it to me straight, doc, what is it? But right now I can tell you it's too high. Let's try 1.3M. Looking at that, wait, is that even 17? Good lord. Maybe a little more. Let's do 4. I guess I'll take it. So the bottom of this UL is a margin bottom of 50. So I want my, let's see. Okay, so my UL looks like it has a margin bottom on it. So I want to get this exact. So on my UL, so I'm going to copy this and put this in between because UL comes before LI. For the list, unordered list, I'm going to do margin bottom of 0. Right, I'm going to cut this down. So then I know what I'm looking at. And I think I don't want the margin bottom on the UL. I think I want it on the item. I'm going to scroll up, item. I'm going to put this above. Whoops. Margin bottom, 50. There we go. And that'll push that down. 50 pixels. Where you come? Give it to me. There it is. 50 pixels from the next one. And that looks good. So I think we're good with this section. And we're on to this one. So that's right here. Let's rock this one. So this learn more. Do I not have a? Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have a class on it. So again, that's what's nice about our little framework that we have. Solid. Now it's a button. So I want different buttons now. We're encountering our next button, which is secondary. So I need to go my core styles. I'm just going to copy this. Whoops, I want to get out of the hover. Paste this. Button solid. Secondary. And the color is going to be our black 80, which is 0. So we're just going to do, I guess I should make this a variable so that I can change it any time. So we're going to do secondary 1, 2, 3 black. Cool. And then we're going to go to our button now. And we're just going to do secondary. And that's going to load that black. And we just got to put that on here, button solid, secondary. And that's going to load that black. And are you... Okay, and there's 60 high. So there's 60 pixels line height. So line height, 60. And their min width is going to be 200. And there's that. So that means their border radius. So to get a pill shape for border radius, you got to chop its height in half. So if it's 60, it's got to be 30. And then you got yourself a pill. So there's that. And width, this is 300. So if I got this guy, I want you to be 200. So now we're going to jump down to learn more. And I can push this up a little bit. And I'll even this out. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to do learn more. And first thing I want to target is I'm just going to target the A really quick. So it's got to be a width of 200 pixels. So we got that. And it's got to be left aligned. So do margin left, 0. So it's a display block. It's a block level element. So to position it left and right, you just do, if I wanted this to go left, I just do margin right, auto, and margin left of 0. So auto pushes it automatically from the right and just goes. So if both of them are auto, they keep pushing equally left and right, and that's how you get a centered div. If you wanted to go left or right, just set one of the margin lefts or rights to 0. Margin right, 0, would make it go over here. Now what I need to do is, currently this is on the bottom. So technically, yeah, I want it to be on the bottom because I want it to be on the right. So that's why I made it on the bottom, because when they stack next to each other, the top is on the leftmost and it goes to the right. But on here, I actually want it to be on top. So it's kind of counterintuitive. I want it to be underneath the H2 and the HTML, so that when they stack left to right, it goes top to bottom. So this will be on the left, and this will be on the right. But on mobile, I want this to be on top. So this should technically be up here. So to fix this is we're going to use Flexbox. So we're going to use, and we got to use it on the container. So we're going to do learn more .container display flex, and I want them to be flex direction. I want it to be a column, so up and down, right? And learn more, I want your order to be the first element, and then the H2, which is the next one. So I got to put this right here. Your order is going to be the second place. So when I do this, these should swap, and they do. So now this is on top and this is on bottom. Thank you, Flexbox. So what I want to do, whoops. So this is margin bottom 40. And this is also, so I'm going to make this a pseudo element. So I actually want this margin bottom to be 80. So I want this to push this 80 pixels down. Margin bottom 80. And then I want this to be font size 26. And my body, I'm going to grab this because I just don't like typing it out. This is going to be Alerion heavy italic. And it's going to be color, whoops, color of white. And I am going to make the background a pseudo element. So I need to get this. I need to grab H2, do my before. I need to set this to position relative so that I can absolutely position this pseudo element on top of it. And we're going to grab my pseudo code again for an overlay. It's just basically a pseudo element that's 100% height and width of its container with a background. That's really what I'm making here, and then I'm just tweaking it from there. So the background needs to be bar primary, and the height needs to be 208. Or what I can do, so that is, what if this content changes? This box will stay the same and it'll just bump up against the box. So what I can do is, if I take this text, so 40 pixels top, 44 bottom. So I remove the height, I do top 44 pixels, or top 40 pixels, and then bottom negative 44 pixels. So it goes 40 pixels up from the top of this, and then it extends negative 44 pixels down, but it stretches 100%. I don't want that actually. I want it to stretch, because if I stretch 100%, it's just going to stay within the container, and I don't want that. So I actually want it to be 1,000 pixels, and it's not going to be centered. So I need to center this so that it's positioned right in the middle of it. And we could do that with Flexbox on the parent, which is this, but I don't really feel like doing that. One of the easiest ways to center something is left 50%, transform, translate x, negative 50%. So this makes it go left 50%, and this transforms it on the x-axis negative 50% of its width, and it's centered. And if you do it top 50%, transform, translate y negative 50%, that centers it vertically within its container, wherever it's housed. So that's the quick and dirty way to do it, that old school way to do it on an absolutely positioned element. And you don't have to use Flexbox. Like if you have to position this, but you don't want Flexbox to work on the other elements inside of something, but you want this to be centered somewhere, this is a great way to just target this one and not have to use Flexbox and have it affect all the other elements. You can just target this one and center it this way. So we're going to do this, and let's just see how this works, if it really did everything. And it did not. So font size 26. Position absolute. Let's find out what's happening here. So here's our H2. Oh, I need to do negative 40. There we go. So that's covered. Okay. Yeah, because I was doing 40 from the top, so it was going 40 down. I needed to go 40 up, which was negative. And now this is covering our text, so I have to set a z-index of -1. So it goes behind it. And it looks like it's got this span going on. So I have to override the span that's inside of it because I wanted to control where it breaks on desktop. So now I got to add another thing in here. Color white. Okay, so there's that. I feel like I need more line height. So let's do line height 1.5 m. Let's try 4. Now that's a little better. Yeah, so now no matter how big this gets, this is always going to be the same. So like if I add another span, you see that the before, it grows with it because it's not set to a height right now. It's set to be a defined amount of pixels to the top and a defined amount of pixels from the bottom. So it's a neat way to use a pseudo element to create a background like this in this particular situation that I created for myself. And then this actually, this is 50 from here, but I have this gap, so I got to remove these paddings So this is going to be qualities. So I got to go to qualities. I'm going to do padding bottom of 0. Okay. And then, because we got this margin bottom on this item on this one, so that's pushing down 50. And then we got this padding pushing up 50. So let's go to learn more, and let's remove that padding top. And there we go. Now I could have removed it from the last item of this, but I just decided it was just easier to do this and remove the padding top. So now we've got a button here that's on top, and it has its own little background. And we didn't really have to do anything complicated. It's just a little bit of flexbox and using some pseudo elements to kind of create this layout despite what the layout is in HTML. So now we got down here, we got this image that Kyle wanted me to throw in there. So what is this guy? In the story? Did that used to be a dog? What's the old one like? Yeah, it used to be him and a dog. Now it's a chair. I guess the dog didn't make the cut. So I know Kyle wanted to do this red chair because of the contrast between red and green. So do I have that saved in my images? Yeah, it's called Gallery 1. Okay. So I think that this actually, I think this needs to be a div. So let's try this. Let's copy this dot share. I just want to try this. I've been looking up the object fit property, so I want to try this actually. Okay, so we got this image Kent Doggo, but I want it to be Gallery 1. All right, that's the chair, right? So I want to create a background. I want to make this like fill up this background. But let's see, because I just want it to be like a 200 or 300 pixel banner. So let me try this. So this is chair. So we got story. Let's throw. We got to do a couple more. Copy 1, 2. Okay. Let's learn more. Landing. Okay, story. How am I going to do this? I want a story, so let's just start with that. I want story dot share. I want this to be a height of 250 pixels. And this image is obviously not fitting in here. So I'm going to try this. Image object fit cover. Display block. No. Because that's the thing, it's supposed to cover. Let's look this up. Let's see this. Did I set a width? Nope. Resize fits container. This probably tells the content to fill the container in a variety of ways, such as converts access, radio, stretch up, stuff like that. Okay, object fit cover. The image keeps its aspect ratio and fills the given dimension. The image will be clipped to fit. Okay, so maybe I gotta set the width of this 100%. No. To put it on the, do I put it on the? I put it on the image. Let's see what Stack Overflow has to say, or no, nah. There's Stack Overflow. Let's see what CSS Tricks have to say. Okay, cover. Original image, object fit, fill, contain, cover, class of image, image, did I put it on here? What the heck? Wait, maybe I'm not choosing the right one. Share, story, share, image. Alright, so that's what I get for trying to use something new. Can't for the life of me figure it out. This should be easy. Alright, well, let's try overflow hidden. So we can chop that. Now, what I can do, yeah, but what? I think I'm just going to position absolute it. So I want the chair to show up, so I got to position it up and down, right? So I'm going to position absolute. Bottom 0. Oh, I got to position relative. Get rid of this since that's obviously not doing anything. Okay, there we go. So let's click on this image. Let's just make it go down. Right there. So I'm basically manually doing what the object fix should be doing. So bottom -106. And I'm doing this, I could just set it as a background image to this container, but because of lazy loading, or aria hidden equals true, I don't want a screen reader to pick it up because it's just an image. That is not particularly important. Well, no, let's just, yeah, let's just add it. Let's just tell it what it is. It's a red chair. Yeah, but
come in my room.
You should be in bed. So, because I want it to lazy load. If you put it as a background image, I'll be in there in a sec. If you want to put this as a background image, there's no way to lazy load the background image. And now it just has to load that image now. But if I put it as an image inside the chair, inside of the container, now I can lazy load it. So, where'd you go? What's happening here? Oh, 106. What's happening here? Story, red chair.
Are you talking to yourself?
I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking into a computer microphone. Is that it? Is that all there is to the chair? I thought there's more to this chair. I guess not. I'm just going to do bottom of 0. Red and purple chair. So I want it to lazy load so that I can make this load instantly. So that's why I'm choosing to do this. Oh yeah, that's fine. Now, let's move this over. So it looks like from here to here should be 40. Let's give chair margin bottom of 40. Is that 40 pixels? Jesus. Why does this image have it too? Oh, I put, gosh bless it. What am I doing here? I don't even need this actually. And purple chair. Okay, that makes more sense where that was working. Okay, negative 106. That makes sense now. Okay, because apparently I put the alt tag inside of a class and it was picking up the chair as a class and doing chair all over again. And oh boy, what a mess. Okay, so that looks better. But now I got to, so I want to make this, I need to get this up here. So I need a padding bottom of learn more on 0. Just a second, bud, and I'll be up there. So that's that. Padding top of story. It's going to be 0. But we got to deal with that before, which is kind of, it's encroaching. It's over. It's going over. This is the end. That little blue, that's the end of its section, but it's going over. So let's just padding top of like 5 pixels. Let's do 10, 12, 13, 14. Okay, that looks perfect. So now from there, I need to remove padding left of 0, padding right of 0 on this story section. Okay, that way I can make this go. But see this, now this section doesn't have a padding on it. So I need to put a padding on its container, which I removed in my core styles. So now I have to do story dot container padding top and bottom 0, left and right 10 pixels, which I think that's what it is. 10 pixels, yeah. So 10 pixels is the standard that I have. So now I just move those over.
Hi.
Yeah, buddy.
Will you come in my room?
Yes. All right. Well, made it pretty far without being disturbed, but I had to go put a little guy to bed because somebody doesn't want to go to sleep. So there's gonna be another cut coming, and I'll be back. Hopefully I didn't forget everything I just wanted to do. Okay, I am back. It's now like a week later. So let's, we left off on the story section right here, and looks like we're missing the background, like this thing that Kyle wants. So that one is about 3. So let's use my background code on, it's going to be I think it's the chair. Yeah, story chair. So let's just put the background on it. Whoops. There it is. So we want about 3. And I want it to cover the entire container. I want it to be in the center, and I don't want it to repeat. And there it is. That looks fine. Can't story, so let's see what this is. Okay, so we got the heading here with our thing and our span with an underline. So where's my span? Is that? Oh, it's right there. Huh. Well then. So let's work on this. So what is this? 30, and then 20. So I want our H2, so we're going to be in story. H2, font size 30. Cool. And then let's hit the span, font size 20. And I want to do margin bottom. This one has a margin bottom on it, it's pushing it away. Let's just do 5 pixels. There, and then the span, we gotta do display block so that we can add a margin to it. Let's just do 30, really separate it. Oh, no, sorry, that's gonna be a heading span, not H2 span. Because there is no span inside of the H2. It's inside the heading group we created. And there's that. So it's going to be bold and italic. So font style, italic, and font weight, bold. Is this bolded as well? That's black. Okay, so this one's going to be font size 900. I don't think I got it. I think that was the Algernon, whatever it is, black. I think it's the heavy one. Let's see, bold. Oh, no, it's black. Okay, so we're going to copy this, and we'll see if that does it. There you go. That's what we want it to be. Now, we have this line right here. And we're going to put it underneath. Actually, let's get rid of these. Home final. Let's get rid of the columns. There we go. That looks weird. So, now we got to do our line. So it's going to come after the span. So it comes after the span code. So I want it to be a pseudo element. So I'm going to grab my pseudo element code, my basic starter, which just creates an overlay. If I'm going to use a position absolute on its container, position relative. So all this does, excuse me, had a long day. So all this does is I create an absolutely positioned pseudo element. If you're not using text at all and you're just making shapes and doing things, content is going to be with nothing in it. It's going to be in these parentheses or these quotes, nothing. And I'm just making it height 100%, width 100%, and whatever the background needs to be. So that's going to be black. Okay, 0, 0, 0. So we want 0, 0, 0. And then the height, I want it to be 2. It looks like it's 2 pixels. And then width, I want it to be 100%. So I want it to be 100% of the container. And I want it to be at top left. No, we're going to go bottom. I want to send it to the bottom, like negative 10 pixels. Let's go a little more. Let's do 20. And then since this span is what's pushing away this paragraph, we're going to make this span have a bigger margin bottom. Let's do 40. Let's push that away. And that looks fine. That's good enough for how simple this section is. And now we got this section. So there's that, and then okay, that's what this is going to be. So this section, because of the way it is in the HTML, the button is on top of the text, but that's not how we want it in mobile and in here. So, because in here we want the button on top so that it can be to the left. So it's on top so that it'll be positioned to the left, but in mobile that puts it on top. So we actually want to flip these so that the button's on the bottom, because that's just what makes the most sense on mobile. So we're in CTA, so we're going to do story.cta. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to do display flex, and then we have to do flex direction column, which is, think about a column is up and down, row is left to right. By default, it's on row, so it goes from left to right. So we have to set column so that all of the things are aligned from top to bottom, on top of each other. And then now that we created our flex box, we have to go to, let's see, the CTA dot button solid. So I want the button solid. I want your order to be number 2. And I want this to be number 1, so that number 1 is here, number 2 is down here. So we're going to copy this. And instead of button solid, it's going to be the H2. And you're going to be order 1. So when I save, these two will flop. So now the order is a flex property, and we just tell which order of which things we want them to be. So we can swap the order of anything in our flex container here with the order property. So we don't have to worry about moving the HTML at all. We just do it right here in the CSS. And looks like it's poking the edge over here. So let's put a container on it. Well, H2. Let's just put a padding. Top and bottom 0, left and right 10 pixels. So yeah, no container. Let's just do the padding. And then this paragraph text here, we gotta get some space. So on the CTA, I'm gonna have a margin top 50, just to get a good amount of space from that. And also, oh, we got the background. So this background is going to be our green. So let's get that set right away. And then our button solid is actually going to be black. Okay, so there's that. Then our H2 is actually going to be white. Color white. And let's add our padding. Top and bottom of 50 pixels, left and right 0, so we got some space there. This is, the H is going to be 30, so let's see what that looks like. Let's see what 30 looks like. I guess that's fine, is it? And it is italic. Font style, italic. And then this button. How big is this button? Give it to me. There it is. 60. 43. Where are you getting this from? It's from Core Styles. 43. Here's 60. But that's secondary. Maybe I'm forgetting. So button solid, line height of 43. Is there any other? Are all my buttons 60? 60. This is 50, which is oddly enough. 60. Okay, so line height 60. And secondary is 60. Okay, there's that. Oh, I gotta do the, now I make the pill. My border radius is 3 pixels. It's button transparent, button solid. Border radius 22. So if it's 60, if I want to make a pill, like a little oval thing, it's got to be half of its height. So 30, and that makes the pill. So there's that. Okay, and then that section's fine. And it looks like This section is going to be the same as this one. Why strategy? That's there. Am I forgetting key issue? Did I think I'm missing content. Huh. I am missing content. So let's copy the content. We're going to copy this. Strategy. Yeah, I'm completely missing a content section, unless that was added later. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to put this here. Now let's replace this. And if you just want to go ahead and skip, I don't know, a minute or 30 seconds. I'm just going to copy and paste these really quick. And then one more. Okay, I don't think we need the CTA. So when we remove that, got key issues. Okay, we can remove this picture. So we don't need the chair. We got key issues, and it's all formatted the same. Wonderful. And let's just add a class to this, to the issues, so that it can be differentiated. I had to respond to my wife there texting me. So now, we gotta put some breaks between this text, actually. Is that good enough? That's good enough for me. Okay, and then we got another, so we got this like split level call to action strip. And we're not going to do the split level in mobile because it's just too busy. So we're just going to do green. This strategy. Okay. I was just thinking if I had to copy and paste the code or whatnot, but I'm not going to do that because I have to do the split level. So your strategy. The strategy. So right away, I know I need the background. Okay, there's that. And now, I know the H2, I think that was a font size of 30 pixels. Font weight of, oh, was that black? Delirium black. No, CTA, H2, here we go. We're just going to copy this. Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same. I'm going to copy this and put this here. And now there's that. And we're going to copy the button. Well, actually, I don't need to do that. It's just already here. Okay, so that section, it's got padding. Oh, we gotta put a margin on, margin bottom. This one's got 10. That's not enough. 30. Kind of like these. How big is this? 300. Let's do width of 100%. Max width 300 pixels. I put this up here. Oh no, it's already here. And then here too. So I want them to fill up. See this? Oh, this feels a little small. So when I save, it's going to make that a little bigger. Take up the space, fill it in more, make it more of a distinctive button. So about can't. Let me see. Am I missing some styles on the button? That looks like they need to be heavy. So just go to all my buttons. I think I gotta do the Illyrion. I gotta use this. Heavy. And when I go to here, yeah, they look heavier now. Okay, so that's better. So we got these, the Y strategy. So that's good. And now we got our button, our little gallery here. So I'm gonna try and fit 3. Maybe I can do 6. We'll find out. Let's do our gallery. Is this our last one? Yeah, this is our last one. So I need one more section. Whoopsie. Okay, gallery. So what I want to happen is I want this to be a flex box. I want them to go left to right. So we're going to do display flex. Flex direction is row by default. Justify content is how you space things from left and right. So I want to use space between. And what that does is it maximizes the space between them. So they nudge up against their containers on the left and right side. And then they push each other equally away from each other in the middle. Space around will make it equal space around them, so they won't be nudged up against their container. They'll still have spaces to the left around them. So when I have containers, I like to, like when I have a specific container width I need to abide by, like this, I would just make the container however wide this needs to be. And then the images have to be however wide they are. And then when you use justify content space between, they will automatically create this space because the math is right. Because this container is the same width. The images are the same width as this. So if they were spaced evenly, like they are in here, between each other, this is what you'll get. And it's perfect every time. So let's start targeting. Well, actually, I also want it to wrap because I don't want it. If you don't do flex wrap, it'll just keep going. Like watch, it'll just keep going and it'll go off the screen, and we don't want that. So what we want to do is we want it to wrap. So we do flex wrap, and it wraps around. And obviously these images are too small or too big, so they just wrap down to the next row. So what I need to do is I need to set my images width of 30%. Because I want 3 of them in the screen. And that's what they look like. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this section, honestly, because we got 5 here. We got 3. So that means if I do 3, I should make image nth type 4. I'm going to copy this. And 5. So I'm the last ones with a 50%. Or 45. Actually, you know what I should do? Let's see. Can I use flex gap? Okay, everybody seems pretty cool and chill with it, except for IE, which we're not coding for IE because they could suck it. So we're going to do 33.333 so that they're nudged up against each other, and 50%. So they're going to be nudged up against each other. Like, really, let's just keep going. Let's do a couple more 3s. All right, so everyone's going to be incredibly tight against each other. Now what I want to do is I want to do a flex gap, 10 pixels. Grow, no, gap. It's just gap. Let me see. Maybe I'm not using it right. I don't use it a whole lot. Let's see. Do I gotta do inline flex? We use inline flex, flex items, but not display our parent element as an inline. Let's try inline flex. Okay, let's see if that does anything. Yeah, that's just weird. What's happening? Okay, so this, if I get rid of the gap. So then what I gotta do, I use padding. So what padding does, padding is so we're using box sizing content box for everything. So that means the padding does not add to the width of its element. So padding is being included in it. So that means this padding is pushing against this this image, and that's how we're seeing this. So they're making gaps. So let's make this less. Let's do 5. Okay. So that's how I'm going to do the gap instead of the flex box gap, because obviously I am not, I'm missing something there, and I'm not going to waste my time with it. So now we need to get this this dark square, and we're going to do that with a pseudo element. So we're going to copy this again, and we're going to do it on gallery. So position relative on gallery, and then gallery before, paste our pseudo code. So right away, I mean, if I just set this to, what's the color supposed to be? Black. Is that really black? That's not black. 80%, that's what it is. Okay. So if we set this to the color that it's supposed to be, if I don't change anything, it's an overlay. So it's basically, 100% of the parent width and height, and it's just on top of it. But we don't want this right now, so we want it to actually be z index -1. We want it to be behind. And its height, I want it to be 200 pixels? How far down do I want it to go? I either want it to stop here, or I want it to stop here. So let's try 400 and see what that looks like. So if I do this, that feels better. I like that better than if it was let's see, if it was 100 and we just did it up here. This looks like it. This doesn't look like it. It's too small and insignificant. It doesn't really look like it adds anything. It just looks like an annoying remnant of a past design. So when we do 4, like when we give it more space here on mobile, it feels more meaningful. And these have a it's a lighter container breaking in quotes. It's not technically breaking the container at all. We're just creating this space with a pseudo element and making it look like it's breaking its container. And I think that's a better look. So that's what we're going to go with. And For down here, again, it's going to be the same deal as this guy. So let's copy. Let's just copy these. And this is going to be the last CTA. I guess that feels better. Okay. And I paste here. The gallery. Oh, donate. Let's just call it donate then. That feels even. So instead of strategy, we're going to do donate. Donate. And the background's going to be white, so that's cool. And the button, let's see, donate. Oh, I got to put button solid on this. And button solid. So there's that. What's here? What is this? Why are you white? Oh, that's right, because it's copied from there. It's copied from the one that is white. Okay, so that needs to go there. And obviously that needs to thicken up a little bit. Because I think it's supposed to be heavy italic. So need, oh, heavy italic right here. So this one has to go, let's just remove this. And that's better. And then for some reason we got a wacky letter spacing on this. Letter spacing 60%. It's a weird value. I don't usually use that for letter spacing, and that is obviously not working. That's just 2.16 M. Text transform uppercase. I'm just going to do 0.6 M. And our background, what red are you? So there's that, and then I want to margin top you 50 pixels just to separate yourself. Too much separation. I still want you to be associated with this content. Well, what's this? This is 30, so we're going to make this 30. So 30 on top and 30 on the bottom. That's my decision for that. And now their footer. So I can't remember what it looked like last time when I was working on this, but Kyle has made some final adjustments on the footer. So it could look entirely different from what we have right here, actually. So we're going to go to our core styles. There's our footer section. Let's move these over. Okay, and let's move this over. Now let's start here. Sort of footer. So yeah, look, okay, yeah, he's definitely simplified it a lot. So I'm gonna have to redo this section. Oh, and the wife is, oh my God, I'm getting bombarded. Wife is sending me a text right now for costumes for a little girl. It's either going to be an avocado, a ladybug, a unicorn, purple unicorn, or a cheerleader. Well, not cheerleader. She's one, so let's not perpetuate that stereotype that early. Avocado. I think it's going to be avocado. No, unicorn. I want to see the horn. White unicorn. Okay. So now back to the matter at hand. We're going to remove all of this. So let's drop this down and let's just redo our footer. Thanks, Kyle. Okay, so we got our image link. It's going to go back to index.html. And then we got our image. slash images, and that is going to be, let's just get rid of that. Logo SVG, or is it, do I have a logo footer? Logo, and nope, no differentiations. Okay, logo SVG. It's gonna be white, and then looks like we're gonna have a string. Okay. Actually, let me check this. Okay, so okay, we got our link, footer top. Oh, we had a footer bottom. So our footer link group. Okay, maybe something didn't change, because I know he said he'd change things up. But maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Maybe I could just keep the same stuff. I just need a back to top. Alright, A. So that's going to be back to top. And then we got a chevron thing. Export SVG. Save as. Caret. And then what I need to do, I need to put in a span image slash images caret. Did I even save that in the right spot? Export. Oh, that went to a different website. I want Kent. That was another website I'm working on. Okay, so there's that. Scroll. Caret SVG. Loading equals lazy. Aria hidden equals true. Is it back to top? Oh, I don't need to put the aria hidden on the span. I just need to put it on the span, because everything inside the span will be skipped too. So what's the point of putting it on this span? There we go. So I think we got that. And I got a copyright. And then our link here. Okay, so now let's get to business. So our background. It's going to be footer. Background's going to be that. And I think we're going to do, let's see what we got. All right, so there's that padding. There's that. So now it looks like we got to do the logo. I think we're just going to do this. Dot. Do I have? I need a class. Footer logo, and I want this footer logo. Display block, margin auto, and how big is that? 170. Okay, and that should center it. There it is. And I want my links. My footer dot link group. Now I want my link group A display block. Text line I want to be center. Color white. Font size, not style, size 16 pixels. And it's going to be bold, so we're going to grab our Alerion bold paste it there. And looks like they're also, okay, they're not italic. So we save, that's what they look like. We do text decoration, none. Okay, margin bottom 10 pixels. Okay, and then we need to refer to logos, obviously gotta be margin bottom 50. We gotta separate from there. Maybe 40. Okay, now let's make our FB button. And there we go. 50 by 50. So we're going to do footer.link group. And we're going to do class of Facebook. Or let's just do circle, because I'm going to do it again for the other one. So link group.circle, background, black, width, 50 pixels, height, 50 pixels, line height, 50 pixels. And then let's see what that, oh, border radius. To make it a circle, and let's see what that does. Oh, I think I need to. Is it? No, it should be display block already. Circle. Oh, I didn't save it. Save it up here. Okay, cool. Margin auto to center it. Cool. That's FB, but it's supposed to be F. Oh, I think that's one of the changes that he made. Instead of FB, he made it the dang Facebook F. Alright, I'm going to go to flat icon. I'm going to go sign in a screen upstairs here really quick. Log in. Gmail. And now we're waiting. There it is. Okay, so I'm in Facebook. No, not Facebook. This is the F I want, and I want it to be white. Give it to me. I don't know why flat icon's been kind of lagging lately on me. Clicking. There it is, finally. Here's some. Okay, there it is. Download SVG. Save as. Facebook. I'm going to save you for later. Let's put you on my other screen. I'm working on a. Actually, I have 2 extra monitors. I highly recommend that if you want to work, get an extra monitor. It helps. If you can, get 2. And we're going to do aria hidden equals true, loading equals latent, and where'd you go? Oh, that's right. It's way freaked down here. Okay. Width 10 pixels. So let's take you. And they give you a width of 10. Okay, that's just crazy now. 20. I guess that's fine. So now we have an image inside of this. So what I want to do inside the circle, we're going to center it with display flex. We're going to make it a flex container. So justify content left and right. I want it centered. Align items, which is up and down. I want it centered. So I want it centered left and right horizontally, and centered up and down vertically. And there it is. So I also need to add a margin bottom. Because I did margin autos, so margin bottom of what's the other guys? 10? All right, push that down, and then back to top. So on this span, class equals circle. So that should turn this into this. Super convenient. Except I want just a caret. So I'm going to target this one. That caret is going to be display inline block because I want it to be in line next to its text here. Now, circle. Oh, I can't do circle. I got to do caret. Okay, there I go. See, I want. That's what inline is. Inline block. You can still treat it like a block level element, but it is going to be in line with everything else. Otherwise, block level elements, they take up the entire block. Inline block is like they're inside with everybody else. So when I took off inline block, and this was just display block, this was pushing against this. So it's like, hey, you know, me and you, we have to go our separate ways. We don't get along. I'm a block, you're an inline block. It's just not going to work. So he moves out and he goes to his own little line down here. That's what display block does. It pushes everyone out. And it's basically they've become a toxic individual. They push everyone in their lives out and they isolate themselves in their own little hole. So that's display block. Now on this, I want a margin bottom of 0. So they should be centered. And I want to make a margin right. What is this? 20. Is it 20? 20. Margin left of 20 pixels. So we're going to push that over. So there's our back to top. And then, so we're going to get to this soon. I'm just going to get this set up. So now we got to do our footer bottom. So we'll do 0, 0, 0, and 0.8. So what I'm doing, because remember, this is 80%. This is black 80, so this is 0, 0, 0 with 80% opacity. So if we added an opacity to footer bottom, the entire thing, it would add an opacity to everything inside of it. So we use RGBA value, which is red, green, and blue. And to make that that black, it's just 0. You have 0 color anywhere, and that's black. And then the last value is the alpha value, A, and that's our opacity. So we tell it what color to be and its opacity in the same line of code. So when we do that, it allows us to do that. But I got to remove that padding bottom, 0. There we go. And now I need a padding top. See, 25 on top. Twenty 25 pixels, and then on bottom, 30. And then I want everything to be text align centered, color white. That did not have effect on anybody for the color, so now I got to target it individually. So we're going to do span. Footer bottom. We're going to do our spans, and we're going to give them a display level of block, color of white. All right. And let's see. Font size of 13. Now bottom is going to be bold, so I want footer bottom dot design. It's going to be Illyrian bold or whatever that flex. And that's to be font size 12 pixels. And then I want the A's to also get the same styling. So we're going to take this, we're going to do a comma, A. And then this design, we're going to do another one for A. Oh, inline block on the A. Or, no, wait a minute. Let's do this, because the A, what's happening over here, we're going to get rid of this, and get rid of this. So what's happening, the A's are also getting the display block in here. So what I need to do is target the A's individually and tell them, no, you're not display block. You're display inline block. Whoops. Yeah, there it is. So we want you to be in line with everybody. And I'm going to leave them underlined. We don't have an underline in here, but I'm going to leave it. And it looks like we're not getting that opacity on the background. It looks darker. It looks darker than that. .8. Cancel. It's just 80% black. So why is it not? Why does it look so gosh darn? It's black. It's black here. RGBA, 80%. All right. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna Windows key Shift S for screenshot. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna open up Paint. I think I was already working on something. I'm just gonna close that and close that. Paste. I'm gonna grab this. Colors 51, 51, 51. Got it. All right. 51 across the board. So we're gonna do 51, 51, 51, and 100% opacity. So I want you to be a solid color. You see, that's different. I don't know why it was not doing that, but so I just went ahead and manually got that color. So these look fine, but I want padding. Let's see, 40. So footer bottom. Let's do, I guess let's just do it a long way. So 25 pixels, top and bottom, left and right. Let's do 20 pixels left, or that's right. 30 pixels down, 20 pixels left. And we can get rid of this. And we got our space there. And then I want to do a margin top on here. It should be 40. This A has 10, so I need to do a margin top of 20 more, or 30 more. If this is 40, it already has a margin bottom of 10. So on footer bottom, I need a margin top of 30 pixels. So that is 40. Now what we're going to do is we got to create this. So we're going to do display. We have to do display flex on this and flex wrap so that it goes left to right. And display flex wrap. So here's what's happening. But this is too big. And I need this one to be, so I need footer to be order 2. Oh, wrap. Okay, so I need my Facebook. So we're gonna do, okay, link group. Link group circle, link group A, here we go. So I'm gonna start with that link group. We're gonna do Facebook. Add a class for Facebook so I can target it individually. Order 2, and then I need to grab the, I need to specify that footer logo is order 1. Oh no, I need to do it on the, oh gosh, okay, so I got the link group here. I think there's a fundamental flaw in how I did all this. Because this logo is not being part of the flex group, which I need it to be. So I need to put this in here because I need it to behave in a flex container with all of these other guys. Okay, so link. Our logo. Where did I add the flex? Where's that at? Oh, maybe I didn't do it. Just log. What did I do? Okay, well, here we go. Where did I add that flex stuff? Oh, I put it on circle. Okay, so it was on circle already. I put it on footer bottom. Bop. Okay, so now we're gonna go up here, link group, display flex, and I want to do flex wrap. Okay, so now we gotta tell the order of everybody. So it should be link group dot footer logo. That should be 1. Facebook should be 2. And it looks like the other guys are just floating. So if I make okay, back to top. And I want to make that order of oh, but I gotta group these. Because they have to stay in this little. Okay, so this is going to be dot list. If we do that, nothing should change significantly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be 4. And then I want dot list to be 3. Okay, so now we got them in the right order, but because it's flex wrap, since this can fit here, it will fit here. So what I need to do, so list, I actually need these to be left, the line left. Does that work? Do I gotta target them individually? Yeah, I gotta target them individually. Line left. Okay, so that's better. I just need to put a, I think I need to do justify content. So link group, I want them to be space between, because I want them to be pushed up against the edge of their containers, and I want them to have the most amount of space between them. So if I want to, I gotta make circle. So if I do Facebook margin left 30, that should push. I should push this. Nope. It's not working on that one. Footer logo, let's try margin right. 50. Okay, so what I did there, I added a margin right of 50 to this logo so that it pushes this thing over to out here. Where is it? Like out there, where that orange box on the right ends. That's technically where that F would go, and that doesn't leave enough room for this, so it jumps to the next line. And then this, since they're supposed to be pushed as far apart as possible, this gets pushed over to the right. This gets pushed over to the right. But it looks like we need a container on all of this because they're all just kind of floating around. Yeah, because this one's got a margin left on it. Yeah, bud?
Where's my iPad?
Ask mommy. Yeah, so we get that margin left. That pushes that there. And it's got a, yeah, I gotta do margin right of 0 on the Facebook one.
What are you doing, Chris? Yes, fire.
Let's do margin right 0. There you go. And now what I need to do is on this link group, I need to add a padding. Padding 0 and 10 pixels. That's 10 pixels. And then it looks like they need to be so these need to be lined up. This actually needs to be bigger. This needs to be 70. Okay, so Facebook carrot. Okay, that's carrot. Let's just do. Let's see, this is circle image. Facebook width of 70 pixels, height of 70 pixels. Maybe take that out. Sorry about that. Little guy came in here playing on some games. I could hear it behind me, so I had to send him out. Okay, so height and width of 70. Display flex. Is centering? Is that gonna work? Okay, yeah. So that centered that. You know, left and right, top and bottom. This is the basic centering right here. Is these 3 lines? Okay. So that made that too big. So now, footer logo, decrease this margin right. So that's on the edge. Let's try this. So I need this. Let's just try doing link group space between, and let's align items center. So centered like this. Let's see. Okay, so this has a margin top. These margins are pushing them off. So footer logo needs margin bottom of 0. And then circle needs your margin top of 0. There we go. So these guys should be centered, but this A is still getting a margin bottom of 10. So footer link group A. Yeah, we gotta remove that. Okay, so now we got everybody. So now we gotta create space between here. And what I need to do is this not centered? This doesn't look centered. Caret. Where's my centering? Here's my center. Where's my caret? There's my caret. Let's center that image. That's better. I gotta figure out how do I space these? So I think I gotta do 2, so 3 and 4. So lists were 3, margin top of 40. So that pushes that, but now I gotta push this on the bottom of its flex container. So item 4 back to top with auto. Does that help? Yeah, because these are jump and ship. Back to top. Oh, it looks like they're on top of each other anyway. Ah, dang it. Okay, so the back to top has to be on top. So that makes things annoying. So this is my back to top. So if I have to put this in a span, it's not working. Oh, so now I got a span. Let's call this text. So back to top. And I want the dot text 1. White. Okay, now we got that. And inside of this flex item, we need to display flex. As annoying as this is, and then order 2 on the dot text, and then on the caret, order 1. But I want you to be block now. I saved, but that's block. This is block. So why is this not working? That's display block. Oh. Flex direction column. I'm getting really irritated at how stupid, complicated this little mini footer has to be now. Flex direction, sorry. Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna respond to the wife. I don't want to. I'm tired of making all these cuts because every time I make a cut, I have to put it into a video editor, and then I have to wait for like an hour, or however many hours for it to bounce. Split, slicing it all of the the cuts I've made, and I just don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to try and make this one long video so I don't have to sit and wait for as much compiling for all my videos to come together. She's shopping for my brother for his birthday. Now she's asking for, okay, God bless it. Now she's asking for dinner, and I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I got to make a cut, and I got to make a cut so that I can respond to these urgent messages. So another awkward cut coming in. Okay, I am back. Now let's figure out how to get this guy on the bottom. So back at the top, let's see if this works. Align self. Let's end. Cool, yeah, that did it. All right. Now let's check the spacing here. 8 pixels. Okay, 8 pixels, so caret. Where's my caret? Eight pixels, okay. And that should do it. I think that's it with that. These guys actually, margin bottom 30. Let's see. So we're looking at link group list A, 30 pixels. Now I don't want the last one to have an A. I mean, I don't want the last A to have a margin, so last of type, margin bottom 0. That'll spread those out the way they need to be. This is spread out the way it needs to be. And looks like that's just a mobile. Let's see what big screen look like. That's gonna, now we're gonna have to fix that. Everything else, except for this, looks fine. Let's go back to small. Yeah, we gotta fix this up here. So this is gonna be the mobile. Oh, this is gonna be a mobile wrapper. And have UR 405. Let's do padding, top and bottom 0, left and right 10. Alright, so that fixes that. I don't like how this is so close. So this is 420. This is right to M. I don't like that. We're going to do 10 pixels. Just to push that over there a little bit. So now we got to make a couple changes here. It looks like, yeah, this is red now. And this is 43 pixels. While this is 60, so I gotta have a logo group button solid 428. I want that line height to be 43 pixels. Okay. And background is red now. As a Kyle edit. Okay, now let's jump to responsive 320. Let's see, where's the jump start to make things look bad over here? There we go. I like let's say 400. So we're down to footer. I gotta change these. These are in with 768. Okay, now I want 100 pixel one. So my footer, I think I had to increase the margin on this one. So footer, link, logo, footer logo, there we go. Let's try auto, let's see what that does. Where's it getting its margin right? 30, photo logo. It's like this media query isn't working. Oh, maybe that's because it's not in the right one. Let me just undo everything I did here. Okay, great. Now let's go down here. I was messing around in the navigation. So here. Okay. All right, so that's fine now. So we're gonna pick the pluses. This is for let's see, mobile is 375 wide. I think we need more padding. Okay, oh, I see what we're doing here. So I think this is 280 wide. This is the container. Now, link group. I think link group has to be max width of 280. So margin auto to center it. I think this margin right is killing it. Okay. Let's do margin right of 0. Okay, so that's kind of what that's supposed to look like. So that's better. I'm wondering if these need to be centered. This is fine. Yeah, we got left aligned with a center here, so that's kind of weird. So this is story. H2 text line center. This is strategy. Text line center. And I want to do this one. This isn't donate. And then we're doing on the H2. Okay, so that looks better on mobile. Honestly, we gotta have these. Mobile goes down the middle typically. So I think that looks fine. The span needs to be centered. So story heading span. Story heading span. Center. And that means this P has to be right? I don't think it needs to be. Donate. Where is this at? This is in story. This is story. It looks like the breaks aren't. Oh, I think it's up here. Yeah, we need breaks. Yeah, when you have a bunch of tags, it's probably just best to keep it left aligned. Okay, so this is enough space, but when we get to big desktop, that's not enough. Say we need to push down. No, not there. I want to push this section down. So maybe if I do hero, that doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe it does. Okay, so we do that. Let's go to landing. Make one for 400 or 375. $375. So if I do hero, margin bottom 63, that means this has to come down some more. Hero can't landing has to be negative 129%. Okay, and that's better. So now when we go to the big screens, that fits better. This looks fine. Now let's rotate and see what problems. I am. Yep. This is a problem. It's not going to figure out how I want to plan this section to look on landscape phones because this is ridiculous. These might have to be shrunk down. Yeah, that we have to make a lot of. One of the problems with responsive web design is you also have to take in consideration the landscape mode, and sometimes, like this, like your designs just break once you go landscape, and you got to keep these in consideration. Back to top works. So I know I just got back on this, but it is bedtime in this house, so I have got to put some kids down for bed, and then I'm gonna take a crack at landscape mode for mobile. So another awkward cut. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back now. I got a new microphone actually. It's been a couple days, so I got this thing set up. So hopefully it's a lot easier to listen, and maybe there's not that humming sound. So our big problem here right now is landscape mode. We gotta figure out what to do with this. This is an interesting situation. So I think what I gotta do. Let's make these images. Let's increase their height. Yeah, that looks fine. Let's increase their height to that. So let's do, what size is this? So I'll do 568. And then we're going to do a max width, a little and. So 768 is our tablet, so we're going to do 7 67. Because I only want to make these styles specifically for landscape mode. And that landscape, so 568 is the smallest landscape mode for iPhone 5, so that's where we're going to start. And right away, we're going to take this, because this seems to make things a lot easier. 141. And just a little refresh. I think I gotta, because it's been a couple days, so I think I gotta do another restart here. Join images. Oh, this isn't here. I don't want it in hero. This is what happens when you go back to a project days after. I want to go after join, because the stuff in this join right here was overriding what was up there. So when we put this here, that's when it's finally going to do what we want it to do. Because we were putting it before it, and the height was set in here for 80. So when I had it up here, because the way CSS works, whatever is below it supersedes it. So this was overriding it. That's why we got to pop this back where it belongs in the join section. And let's take this guy, bottom one, negative 129. Let's see where we want that to be. And squeeze you down here, and I think 230. That looks about right. So we're gonna go. Shoot, now I gotta make another one of these. So we're gonna take this, and we're gonna do one for hero. Hero can landing, and we're gonna do bottom. Negative 230%. So that puts that down there. So this looks a little better. I was kind of, worried about how this was going to look. So this H1, or yeah, H1. Let's add a width to it. Let's just see what 300 looks like. Okay. But what's going on down here? Why are you all of a sudden? Negative 192. Let's see. Maybe because I adjusted this. But yeah, that looks fine now. Let's go back to. So it looks like this actually goes over that. But we're not going to do that for landscape, just because it's a different beast. So we're going to leave that the way it is. I like it. I can live with this. This stuff. So let's make this a max width of 335 actually, because I don't want it to stretch like this. I don't know if I want it to stretch like this though, wide. Wait, what is join? Okay, so join is the images. So now we're on qualities. I want to see if this was a max with a 335, margin left auto, margin right auto. I feel like that looks neater. And let's see. 30 pixels top and on the bottom. we need more on the bottom. Yeah, that feels a little better. Let's see. So this is left aligned here. So I think on landscape mode, we're actually going to have to center that button. So learn more A. Oh, this is in learn more, not qualities. Learn more. Take U. Yeah, I got nothing in U. Okay, we're going to take U. And go into learn more. Put you in the center. There we go. That. So that's our chair. I don't think it works in this one. It's too long. So chair, I'm actually going to remove you. So I think this is in story. So your story. And we're going to do story chair. Display none, just because I don't think it works. And then this Kent story thing. Let's do margin bottom of 50 pixels on this guy. So we push this down. And that's cool. That doesn't work. So what will work? Oh, story's right here, so I need to do margin top.
Who did this? Who did that?
I did it.
Pick it up!
Alright, yep, excuse it. I had to pause. That was the wife coming in. Apparently I made a little mess in our room. There's pillows on the floor. There's mayhem. So, sorry for that. Now back to work. So, I get the margin top here. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's too much. What's going on here? So we got a padding bottom on story. Or this is story. It's got a padding bottom. Zero. Alright, that's better. That's even. Then here, this is a no-no. Having content touching like this, that's a no-no. So this is in story. Oh, again, oh. That came from me removing that here. I think what I need to do I need the margin top here, but I don't need it down here. Let's see if this does it. Margin top 0. Nope. So I think I gotta do dot issues. I gotta override the style because this is an ID. So this margin top is going to be more specific than the issues section because they're sharing the same style. So they're sharing the same the things. Well, actually, I shouldn't do that. Let me see what's going on here in this HTML. So we got story, right? Oh, we have two IDs of story. You're not supposed to do that. I got two IDs. Gosh darn it. So instead, issues. So this would be issues, class equals story. So I need to add it by the class. So this becomes this. Everywhere there is a hashtag story, I need to make it a dot story. So time to fix everything. Because you don't want two IDs. That's a no-no, and your HTML will not validate. It'll say error, two duplicate IDs. And I just made a mistake of doing that here, so okay, that's good. So hopefully everything stays. And okay, we look good here. So now what I need to do, so instead of, let's see, issues, so now I just do hashtag issues, because the ID issues will be more specific than the class story. And that'll fix that. All right, and we're good. Now we're in the clear. That's good. We gotta extend this background. So make this longer. Let's go a little longer. I want to come all the way down, just like we did for the other screens, and that looks fine. So we're going to go to gallery. Let's copy this. Strategy, gallery, in between here. And we're going to take you. Height of 733. Okay, that is done. I mean, and that's the wife calling me, so we got another cut I have to do, so just a second. Okay, now I'm back. Man, what a day. Little guy didn't want to put his clothes on, so we had to put his clothes on. I want to see what this would look like if I did all 5 of them together. Let's do 18%. Whoops. With 18%. No? You don't like that? Oh, because this is here. It's 18, and then these guys 18. I think I can get away with it. So let's do these guys. And we're going to do width of, let's do 19%. Gallery image. 19%. That looks cool. Let's try 20. Let's see what that does. Fine by me. And now this before has to go way down. There we go. I like that. I dig that. Alright, that's fine. And that's fine. And we're good. So now I think we can say we're officially done with mobile. Because now that we got landscape mode going. I don't like how close this is. But I guess it's fine for now. It's landscape mode. Alright, so there's that. So that ends our thrilling adventure into mobile. And now we're going to take these styles and we're going to jump over to desktop. And, I'm sorry, not desktop, tablet. And let's see how we can translate this. So we got desktop and mobile, and now we're just going to have to finagle how we want it to look on tablet. Hopefully keeping it pretty close, making it pretty easy. So we'll see. And then after that, it's on to the about page and then the contact page, which looks pretty easy, so it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully we can wrap this up in an entire day. So it's 12:43 p.m. over here, and I intend on working all day on this. So let's do this. Let's end mobile, and let's get on to tablet.